U.S. is going to provide lethal anti-tank weapons to Ukraine to help it fight off separatists which have the backing of Russia, the senior State Department official told CNN. The State Department officially announced Friday evening that the U.S. was going to provide Ukraine with enhanced defensive capabilities as part of our effort to help Ukraine build its long-term defense capacity, to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and to deter further aggression, but the statement from spokeswoman Heather Norwood said it was not going to give any further details. The State Department said the U.S. assistance is entirely defensive in nature, and as we have always said, Ukraine is a sovereign country and has a right to defend itself. Among the weapons being sent are Osme Javelin anti-tank missiles, the official said. Members of Congress and the Uzbek Ukrainian government had long requested anti-tank weapons to boost Kiev in its fight against Russian-backed separatists. Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said Saturday that the U.S. decision to supply Ukraine with anti-tank weapons meant the United States is clearly pushing Ukraine to need bloodshed. In a statement, Ryabkov said, "American weapons can lead to the victims in our neighboring country, to which we cannot remain indifferent," adding, the United States in a certain sense had crossed the line and accused it of fueling the war rather than acting as an intermediary. Senator John McCain, an Arizona Republican, released a statement Saturday morning supporting the decision. President Trump's reported decision to provide Javelin anti-tank munitions to Ukraine marks another significant step in the right direction and sends a strong signal that the United States will stand by its allies and partners as they fight to defend their sovereignty and territorial integrity, he wrote, adding, "As I have long argued, providing defensive lethal assistance to Ukraine is not opposed to a peace in Ukraine, it is essential to achieving it." This is another development from the U.S. that Russia was expected to criticize. Some experts told CNN that Russia could use this move as a pretext to take further action in Ukraine, after its invasion and annexation of the Crimea region in 2014. The U.S. allowed Ukraine to buy arms from U.S. companies. The move comes amid the recent uptick in clashes between Ukrainian soldiers and Russian-backed separatists, and the same week the Trump administration announced it would permit sales of some small arms to Ukraine from U.S. manufacturers. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson had discussed the recent escalation in clashes in a phone call Friday with Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, according to an official readout issued by the Ukrainian government. The statement says Poroshenko thanked Tillerson for the prolongation of sanctions against Russia and for the consistent support of Washington regarding the increase of Ukraine's defense capacity. The statement also said that Tillerson emphasized that the U.S. would further support Ukraine. On Wednesday, the Trump administration had announced it was allowing the export of some small arms to Ukraine. Norwood said the department notified Congress on December 13 that it had approved an export license, which allows Ukraine to buy certain light weapons and small arms from U.S. manufacturers. The U.S. government is not selling the Ukrainian government these weapons, she said. The U.S. has not provided lethal defensive equipment to Ukraine, Norwood said, nor has it ruled out doing so. Following that announcement, McCain, the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, issued a statement calling on Trump to authorize additional sales of defensive lethal weapons, including anti-tank munitions, to Ukraine. Anti-tank weapons have long been seen as a critical capability to allow the Ukrainian military to combat the armored vehicles in the possession of the separatists, equipment that U.S. officials say is supplied by Russia. Vladimir Putin has chosen war instead of peace in Ukraine. So long as he makes this choice, the United States and the free world should give Ukraine what it needs to fight back, McCain added. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova responded to reports that the U.S. and Canada have decided to allow weapons exports to Ukraine by accusing Washington and Ottawa of making false claims about the conflict in Ukraine as a pretext to begin large-scale lethal weapons deliveries to Ukraine. Zakharova went on to say arming Ukraine would further inflame tensions and push Ukraine towards reckless new military decisions. Norwood had also addressed the conflict in Ukraine on Tuesday, saying, Russia and its proxies are the source of violence in eastern Ukraine, and the Russian government continues to perpetuate an active conflict and humanitarian crisis through its leadership and supply of military forces on the ground. Norwood said the U.S. continued to call on Russia to withdraw its forces and weaponry from Ukraine.